Namaste, my brothers and sisters, and welcome to Namaste Today in the Zodiac Weather. My name is Stepº8 Witecki. I am the sensei to Sirius joy, here to stand in my heart and walk in the light. I am lovecasting live in 5 dimensions in the beautiful Temple of Gaia today on Tuesday, December 30th, 2014. We are so close to 2015. I personally am very excited just because this particular go-around with Saturn in Sagittarius, I believe, is the time I was born for. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, since I got into astrology, actually. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun here around the corner. But before we do, we need to focus on the step of the day, which is Step 8. Step 8 is I decide. And that's what Capricorn consciousness is about. We're going to talk about that today. I'm going to explain how Capricorn consciousness works. It is ultimately the sculpting consciousness, the part of us that we use to cut away what our heart is not entirely in, thereby defining our shape even further. So you today are ready to stand tall, ready to make decisions, and in essence, we're cutting away from perhaps the system of control we were born to. Truly indeed. But before we get so serious about control, let's first tame our brain, shall we, with the phrase of the day. I am open and ready to commit to my joy, and so it is. Do you have any problem saying that with your heart, my friend? I am open and ready to commit to my joy. Now today we're going to make a decision, but in the background of a decision is a commitment, because we're cutting away what we don't want. So I want to be very clear about where we're headed when we cut away what we don't want. We're headed for some joy, some serious joy, as I like to call it. So I'm open and ready to commit to my joy, to my serious joy, to be honest with you. The serious step of the day is Step 8, but we will move to Step 9 very quickly. I'll talk about that. So the ruling state of awareness is our decision making, our I decide. And because this is Step 8 of the I decide consciousness, the 8 of the 8, so to speak, anyone born on a Step 8 day is a Grandmaster Capricorn. So if you're born today, happy birthday, you are a Grandmaster Capricorn. Now, one of the things about being a Master Capricorn is sometimes it's hard to reverse a decision. Sometimes it's hard for you to see beyond a decision. So you're very good at making decisions, sometimes too good. So be open to that if today is your birthday. Now, looking at our ruling colors and our chakra therapy today, we are working on indigo, and it's a double dose of indigo because it's a Step 8 day in a Step 8 sign, right? So it's double 8s today, crazy 8s. That means we are truly cutting things off. I'll show this in the planets here in just a minute. So we're going to be working on our indigo almost exclusively today. But the moon is in Taurus, so your instincts and your gut might light up. Emotions in Taurus means that we're going to be manifesting. It also means that our solar plexus will be lit up. And so we want to make sure we're feeling really good there too. So remember our breath exercises. We just want to draw some white light into the chakras that we want to balance. In this case, we're going to actually execute through indigo. Make sure you do in front, at least 3 breaths in the front and 3 breaths in the back. Someone was asking, can you do this to all the chakras? Absolutely. If you have the time, I would. In fact, in my meditation, which I'm going to share soon in a few days or when I can get to it, I mean, it's one of those things I keep thinking about sharing with you guys. I actually go through and purify all my chakras just to make sure that they're shining bright. Now, the other chakra, of course, is to do 3 breaths through our second chakra, our I manifest, or our orange. And a lot of people who have anxiety, right, like you have butterflies in your stomach before you ask someone on a date, or you have butterflies in your stomach before something happens, you can do this white light breathing exercise where you bring white light down and exhale through the front, exhale through the back, all right? And do that at least 3 in the front, 3 in the back. You'll find that your anxiety does pass. That's been my experience. So let's take a look at the cosmic clock. Really, the planets are the timing of everything. Here are the beautiful planets as of today, where they all are floating around. The sun is at Step 8. It will move to Step 9 later in the day. But that means that today, the first half of the day, is about making a decision. A decision is an incision in consciousness where we cut away what we don't want. But we do have a Sirius alert around 2:04 p.m. Eastern Time, and what I mean by Sirius alert is things might get really serious. At 2:04, the planets are going to shift, and the moon is also going to be having an emotional breakdown. So emotions might slip, and at the same time, Mars will rule the day. Step 9 will kick in. So we move to Step 9 at 2:04 p.m. Eastern. If things get anxious on you, you'll know why. Now, the moon is in Taurus, like I said. That means that we are emotionally manifesting as we go today. So emotions really do manifest reality, and emotions seem very real. The moon is trining the sun in Capricorn, so what that means is that as we make our decision, we are ready to manifest almost instantly. It's the final decision in go time. This might be a decision you've been working on for a long time, but it is go time. And I'll talk about here in the Sensei Sunrise when the best time to go is, but it is in the next 24 hours. Now the sun is officially crossing Pluto. Pluto, who is at step 13. As you know from watching this show, that is a nuclear Uranus ruled degree, and that's mostly what Pluto will be at this year. The sun crosses Pluto early Saturday, which in my opinion is the first test and the finalization of what you are deciding today. So this is the beginning of the end and the beginning of the beginning, and in everywhere in our life that is true. Then we have some electrical storms going on right now. Mars is opposing Jupiter retrograde in Leo. This is a tug of war. Call it tough love, I think. On the one hand, Mars in Aquarius is necessary. We need to move forward with our individuality. We need to move forward with our Age of Aquarius principles now. But then Jupiter retrograde in Leo is where our heart is still tender, where we did so much growth and construction. We just took a break from this. So to have any part of our life tugging on it is a bit of a pain in the astro, if you know what I'm saying. So I will be talking about in the Zodiac weather precisely where Mars and Jupiter might be fighting in your life. Now let's move on to the Sensei Sunrise. I always want to take us to a nice little tranquil place. Now today the Sensei Sunrise is based on steps 8 and 9. I'm going to talk you through kind of how the consciousness works, and this will probably resonate for you. First of all, let's understand where we are climbing up our tree of awareness here. Today the sun is at step 8, and then later at 2:05 Eastern we move to step 9. So if you are awake or aware, or if you're in my beta Sirius Joy program, you'll get a text message at that time. But you can actually note that the energy is going to shift. You'll really feel it shift. It'll hit into an aggressive energy, and that'll be, sometime around lunch, I guess, for most people in the country. Then, of course, we have Pluto, which we're on the horizon, where things are going to really step up. And once we make this decision and move forward, it is all about Pluto, which is okay, let's kill off what we're going to kill off, and let's let what's going to be born, and just kind of glide with it. And that's mostly what New Year's Eve is. In the Megascale Monthlies, I talk about how New Year's Eve really is people saying, okay, it's a new era. Now, we don't always feel that way, I think, on a New Year's Eve, but I certainly think this year we are going to. So today it is about step 8, which is to decide, and then 9, we act. And we might want to act today, we might want to act tomorrow. It kind of depends on when the best time to act is. But I want to talk about what decision consciousness is. If you've been watching me for a long time, you know that in the 11 Steps of Serious Joy, I am describing how consciousness builds on itself and how we feel joyful. There's a joyful feeling that's built from all 11 steps, and this is where things get really fun. But step 8 is a key step. It's Capricorn step, and this is the step that changes our course in direction forever. This is sometimes the surprising step in our lives because a lot of people may not see this step coming, and I want to explain how this step works. Basically, in an 8 situation, once we have grown something in our manifestation, we usually find that we have 2 places we can go. Usually we find that there's 2 directions we can go, or we find that there are 2 sides of things competing for our resources, and that's because we tend to stay open up until then to everything. That's at least the wise person does. So when you make a decision here with this 8, you're literally making an incision in consciousness and separating 2 zeros. Remember step 0, I protect? So what you end up doing is making 2 babies. And isn't it fascinating how our glyphs of numbers fall into this as far as visuals and understanding? It really amazes me at times. It just amazes me. So when we make a decision, we're going to split that 8 into 2. And the truth is that you're probably going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth between 2 systems, and now really one needs to be on one side and one needs to be on the other, right? So the decision is an incision where you say, hey, I can only focus on one of these, and that is the one you act on. So let's say it's the top 0. We're going to take the top 0 and we're going to act on that decision. We're going to dismiss the other option. You don't want to push away the other option. You don't want to resist the other option. You don't want to spend any more energy. Just let it go over the waterfall like that little 0 there. Just dismiss the 0, and don't worry, nothing can be created or destroyed in God's universe, just so you know. So even if you miss it now, you can always remanifest it later. Now, what this does is we dismiss the lower 0, and that lower 0 rises up, and what we act on, we put it into motion. When we act on it, we become what that 0 was, and that is going to become a whole potential of a 1. So we're going to make that 0 into a 1 by acting on it, and this is kind of the magic part of the universe. I've said it so many times I can't say it enough. You must put into your body, you must embody that which you want to manifest. You must become that which you want to come, and this is the moment, my friend. Once you make a decision and act, you are in essence becoming that which you have decided to head towards. So today really is a powerful day, and because of Pluto, like I've said yesterday, and I'm going to keep saying, I believe that we are all cutting away a major way of living that has gone back probably to our birth. And for those of us who've been working to climb the enlightenment rope lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, I think this is the first time the human race is this awake. So this really is one of the most profound waking moments, I think. And you really want to do what? Well, you want to decide away what's not working for you. That's what it is. I mean, hey, you know what? This is going to work for me. I'm going to go with this. It's that simple. And your heart really ought to tell you which way is the right way. So we come back. We're going to continue with our 11 control traps, control trap number 4, and some other juicy information just for you after this.
Why can't you find love? How long have you really been single? Really? Having trouble finding that special soulmate? I can solve this one. Secrets of Birthdays, now live for purchase. Your love trouble? Over. All that and more at secretsofbirthdays.com.
And here we are in the Soulmart.me trading post. I've got a few cute items in the new year that I'd like you to know about. For one, if you haven't seen my New Year's predictions for the Megascope Monthly, you can watch yours for just $3.95. The whole week is predicted, including when Sun crosses Pluto. That's the final mega date I have in the December Megascopes. If you hadn't had a chance to see how good I am of a predictor, come on down and check it out at Soulmart.me. Incidentally, if you need any help whatsoever, you can always email us at help@soulmart.me. We'll be happy to respond and see what's going on. And be sure to join our email list because I do send out a Namaste newsletter every morning. This year, 2015, I am launching the Sirius Joy Academy, where I'm going to help people through classes and web seminars to stand in their heart and live in joy. One of the aspects that are ready to watch right now are 2 classes I shot last autumn. They're now available for immediate rental. One is So You Want to Be an Astrologer. This will teach you the basic points of how to analyze your chart. And the other class is The Art of Reading People, which will teach you basically the things I look at, from astronumerology to gut instinct to psychic awareness, basically talking about how it is I read. These are both very affordable and available immediately at soulmart.me. Also, I'm starting what I call an Astro Study Group, 2 Sundays a month where we just dive into fun topics. The first one is January 11th, looking at celebrity death charts from the last year, looking at celebrities that passed away, also looking at celebrities that passed away a long time ago, and seeing if we can see if it is indeed in the chart. And then the other will be at the end of the month, looking at comedy in astrology, which I think has a lot to do with Saturn and Capricorn, but that's just my theory going in. That'll be on January 25th. These are at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and they're just a $10 donation to join. I hope to see you all there. All this and more, and details for all this, it's at soulmart.me. And that brings us now to our 11 control traps. We are off to number 4 now, and number 4 is controlling belonging. What is belonging? Well, it's not possession, as you might think. I'm not saying controlling our possessions of things. By belonging, I mean step 4, I belong, and that is where things belong. Now, according to the universe, things belong through the law of attraction. So what our heart wants and what their heart wants, law of attract. And in a spiritual way, we come together. That's what the belonging is. And once we come together, we both experience something new in that belonging. But you probably know a lot of people that say stuff like, "Oh, I belong to be, I need to be his wife, or I need to be her, her husband." Incidentally, I belong with them. Well, your heart says so, but does their heart say so? A lot of people try to control things because their mind wants something, but it isn't necessarily the two law of attract coming together. That is the Aquarius energy. So the two wavy lines of the age of Aquarius, of things getting along so perfectly, is that we let go of our control trap 4, and allow our heart to law of attract where it belongs and accept what that is. Right? If it turns out to be something very toothless and gross, it's just like, oh my, is that what I'm law of attracting? It does happen. You might say this is about controlling the outcome. Not quite. This is different than controlling the outcome. We're actually going to have controlling the outcome as one of the control traps. This is a little different. This is trying to tell the world the way God should do it and not allowing our hearts to go along and flow. So today when you make your decision, when you decide to cut away from something, and we're talking about the zodiac weather, make sure, ensure that you are allowing your heart to just be filled with what it wants, and you are allowing the universe to do its job in the age of Aquarius, and to law of attract these two principles together, and to trust that this will work. I know. Even I like to trust at times. But before you go off trusting and seeing if you've fallen into a control trap, let's take a look at the modes of each of your brothers and sisters today. And today I'm going to actually discuss the Mars-Jupiter opposition. Remember that? This is the compromises between two parts of our life, basically, that we're having to work through. All right? And so we're going to start first with the Scorpios. Step 0. Sunny and sentimental today for the Scorpios. You're finding compromise, unfortunately, with that Mars-Jupiter between home, family, and career ambition. And it's career that might need to take just a little break. Just a little one, I'm just saying. Step 1 is a Leo, sunny and professional today. But the Mars-Jupiter opposition is saying you might have to find compromise between long-term relationships and your own personal ego desires. Step 2, the Cancers, sunny and super social today with the moon in Taurus, but you may have to find compromise between making money and making changes. Which one's more important to you? Step 3, the Sagittarius is sunny and hyper alert of their reality with the moon in Taurus today, but you might have to find compromise between your mental tasks or conversations that you want to have and the learning adventure that you want to have on the other side. Step 4 is the Aquarius is sunny, nesting, and resting today. You may find yourself compromised between your ego or your willpower and your long-term relationships as well. Whoopsie. Step 5, the Geminis, sunny and spiritual today with the moon in their subconscious. But you might find that you have to find a compromise between your great ideas and things you want to run with and new learning that you feel must happen. Step 6, the Librans, sunny and private today. You might find you have to compromise between social opportunities coming your way and personal love or personal dreams. Yikes, that's a problem I want to have. Step 7, the Pisces, sunny and pensive today. You might find that you have to compromise between holding higher faith and your daily duties. And by the way, holding higher faith when you're a Pisces means you get to swim away and not worry about it. So you may not be able to swim away and not worry about it is what it is. Step 8, the Capricorn, sunny and childlike today. But you might have to find compromise between personal changes and making money. So you want to remodel, but you make money, yada, yada, yada. Step 9, the Aries, or the Aries, sunny and manifesting today with the moon in Taurus. You may find you have to compromise between your social obligations or obligations to friends and a personal dream path or creative project that you were hoping to achieve. And the Tauruses, sunny and cool with the moon in their sign, but you may find you have to compromise between your career ambition and feeling really nested and rested in your royal home. And then finally, the Virgos, sunny and pensive today, I do believe, but you may have to find a compromise between your inner faith and your daily reality. Now, inner faith for a Virgo is escaping and thinking that everything is going to work out just perfect and imagining it just perfect. So you might actually have to do stuff instead of imagining the way it should be. That's how that works. And that brings us now to our Light Walker Parade. What do we have following this video to help you along your day? Right now I'm pushing Venus Prime Health with Damon Perry. We are doing a series on 10 healthy weight loss supplements, and some people want to lose weight in the new year, and by golly, I'm on board that. Number 6 is white kidney bean extract. Did you know it can help you burn more calories in the hour? Damon will explain how. If you're watching on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. It helps us with our relationship with YouTube. And on Facebook, you can go straight to our Facebook page at soulgarden.me. And don't forget to join our email list at soulmart.me. If you haven't been to the Mothership of Light, it's called soulgarden.tv. There's a bunch of blogs, there's a bunch of videos, and the kindest thing you can do is to share us with your friends and family. We thank you ahead of time. Gratitude, my friend. And that brings us now to our rock and roll gospel today. We're looking at Capricorns that know how to rock. And today it's Pat Benatar, my goddess. And have you noticed that all of the Capricorns have been Master Capricorns so far? That's not my doing, that's God's. But Pat Benatar is awesome. She really rocked in the 80s. And one of my favorite songs was We Belong. Here's an Asian version of the album, which is cool. I thought it was the power of Google, finding stuff people scan. I love this song. We belong in the light. We belong in the thunder, right? Great song. Thank you, Pat, for being you, and thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow with more. Remember, I love you, and live, love, be.
This is just so ironic.
So